G'day, welcome. I'm going to be working on this ECHO SRM 210. This was a gift from my mother when I first started my grass cutting business. But the thing is with this unit is it needs to run with just a little bit of choke, so I'm thinking the carburetor is a little bit dirty. So we're going to get into this right now. Before I go and buy parts, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to clean the carburetor itself. I know this right here, the air filter is pretty well pooched. I don't know exactly what happened with it. As you can see, this blue here, it's very, very stiff, and that's actually you can smell it. It's a two-stroke gas right there, so this air filter is not really doing anything about it, or well for it. The one good thing I like about this this unit is the choke system itself. It's not a baffled on the inside of a carburetor like most vehicles are. It's just this little plastic piece right here, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, in order for it to run, it needs to be about 3/4 of the way up. This primer bulb is also pretty stiff and needs to be replaced, but before I buy all the replacement parts and seals, I want to see if I can actually clean this carburetor and make it reliable before I just start spending money for no reason. Alright, we're going to get started. These two screws go all the way through the carburetor. I'm going to take this whole housing off right now. Oh wow, yeah. That could be part of the problem right there. You see how much dirt's all up in there? Well, that's a good start. See if I can bring you guys closer and look at the throttle linkage and see if it's working properly. Alright, looking into the carburetor, I'm just going to double check the throttle linkage is working correctly. Looks like we are, but if you see how there's a little bit of a, right there, there's a little bit of a gap on the inside. And when you open it all the way, it's not quite all the way. So I'm pretty sure this top screw here is going to need a bit of adjusting right here. I did do some adjustment on this to try and keep it running. So what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm going to have to back that off about another quarter turn, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. My primary reason for doing this is to get that carburetor clean, which it definitely needs a good cleaning right now. Another thing that's going to need to be replaced is, I don't know how well the camera can pick that up, but it's actually pretty cracked right up in here, and this fuel line's a little bit old. It needs to be replaced. I was fiddling around with this, making sure all the lines were clear, so I know these lines are actually clear, and that's not part of my problem. Alright, so we're taking the carburetor off now. It doesn't look horrible, but it definitely needs cleaning for sure. So one thing I want to do is I want to see if I can get this linkage all taken out. Actually, I should be able to take the whole system off without even messing with the cable, so I'm going to try and do that right now. It's got a little bit of stress on it. There we go. Am I missing anything? No, looks like that should come straight out. Of course it's not. Alright, let's pull these fuel lines off at least. And it's not even going to want to do that. Right. Oh, that would do it. Missing one screw up in here. take that off. There we go. 4 screws to take that throttle assembly off. Now the question is, how does the linkage that goes into the carburetor? Oh, okay. Okay, I'm seeing a seal. Okay. The actual throttle assembly doesn't look horrible. It definitely needs to be cleaned though. I don't want to spin that around too much. I'm definitely going to clean this up. Looks like the jet looks fairly clean on the inside. Don't want to push this primer bulb, I don't want any fuel coming up in here. Okay, so next I'm going to take off this primer bulb, but before I do that, I want to organize all my screws here so I don't lose everything. Put them over here. Okay, now I'm going to take that primer bulb off. That's why I love magnets on my bits. Except when it sticks. No, let go of it. Alright. 4 screws. Let's organize it. Okay, I'm starting to smell a lot of gas right now. I don't want to get too crazy with this. I am doing this in my living room. Because I don't have a workshop. Okay. What am I missing here? Okay, there's a seal. This should come straight out. Oh, there goes the bulb itself. Yeah, that's pretty, that bulb's pretty stiff. That would do it. There's a screw right there. Okay, got a bit of gas coming out. Oh, wow. Here, let me bring you in closer to look at this. So we can see in here, look at all the dirt. That's right up in there. That's probably going to be our focus. That's going to be part of our problem right there. I'm looking at the rest of these openings and they look to be fairly clear. But that in a nutshell, that's the whole carburetor. Now I'm going to take this plate off because there is an actual rubber seal underneath it. I don't want that going into the parts cleaner. So I'm going to be taking this off now. I want to be gentle, I don't want to damage anything. Okay, we need to, just bear with me 1 second, I'm going to get a flat. There we go. There it goes. Oh, that could be our problem. Looks like the diaphragm is I don't know how well you can see that. Let's see if I can bring it closer. You see how it's sunken along the edge? That means this diaphragm is stretched. So this is most likely going to need to be replaced. Okay. That's probably our number one culprit right there, is that diaphragm. Okay, let's get you guys in a better angle while I take this diaphragm off. Alright, we got that. Let's move the trimmer out of the way. So I want to organize all my screws, make sure I keep them all together where they need to be, all the parts to part. Okay. Let's see if I can carefully remove this without wrecking it. Because I'd rather just clean the part and see if I can get it running more efficiently than spending a little bit of money. Well, I'm probably going to have to replace this part anyways, regardless, because it does look very stretched. I just want to make sure I remove it as carefully as I can. That's most likely our culprit right now. This trimmer I actually had running really well, and then one day, even while it was warm, I just couldn't get it started again. And I got really frustrated, and that's when I bought my Husky 4-stroke trimmer, which worked phenomenal. It was a great little trimmer all season. It doesn't look horrible, but it could use a bit of TLC. Maybe if I just give it a quick little clean, that's all I'm going to need to do with that. I'm hoping. I'm going to see if I can get this running for nothing. Okay, so there she is. Yeah, this is definitely the issue. This definitely needs to be cleaned. I'm actually kind of curious. I don't want to push on that too hard. That's where the primer bulb came in, but the actual jet is down here. So that's what, that must work. That must be the float. Okay, that's the float there. I'm trying to remember how this came off. Wait a minute. So the primer bulb was on this side. So that means this was like this. This is how it was set up and configured onto the actual engine. So the primer bulb comes up to that jet. Okay, that makes sense. Down to here. And then there's the float where the sump is. Okay. Yeah, this is actually a pretty simple little carburetor. Huh. Alright, let's see if we can get this cleaned up. Alright. I wanted to get a clear container, but I don't want to use any of my dishes, so I'm going to be using this Dixie cup. And I don't have any carb cleaner, so I'm just going to use this brake parts cleaner. It should work fine. See if I can get this nozzle off. The nozzle is going to help quite a bit to get in all those nooks and crannies. I hope this works. I hope I get this thing fixed up for nothing. I think that'd be kind of cool. And it'd be nice just to have a second trimmer around, just in case, you know, one breaks down for some reason. It'd be really nice to be able to have a spare in the truck. Another thing I want to do with this trimmer is I want to pull the spark plug and make sure it's clean. So I want to shoot some down in this jet here. Oh, yep, putting it everywhere. I'm just filling all those holes and jets up with brake cleaner. And there was one spot on here I saw that was really bad. Oh, why can't I find it again? Where was it? No, oh yeah, it was this part. Brake cleaner actually cleaned it up quite a bit. I'm gonna get an old toothbrush and give that a light scrub. Okay, so this is an old toothbrush, my son's toothbrush. I'm just gonna give it a light little clean. You can see there's a bit of gasket. I don't actually want to take that off because I want it to pair up with the other side fairly well. Just lightly brushing it. That looks so much better. I hope that diaphragm still works. Well, there's some dirt down in there. Yeah, that's looking really good. Okay, I was going to put it into this cup, but I can see now that the brake cleaner is now eating through this cup, so now I need to I need to clean up this mess. Well, that's good to know. Brake cleaner will eat plastic. Oh, jeez, it's everywhere. Wow, that is crazy. I never knew that. It ate right through it. That is actually pretty cool. I'm not even sad. I'm actually kind of impressed. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's clean the freaking mess up. Oh, I should have known better. Oh well. My house will smell like... Look at that! Oh, it's stuck. Oh. That is cool. I'm sorry, that's cool. Let's clean that up. How am I even going to get that off? Just like that. Huh. So I should have grabbed a glass container. Alright. Yeah, that cleaned up pretty well. I'm glad I didn't spray that diaphragm with that. That would have been very, very bad. Alright, got that mess cleaned up. Let's let this vent a little bit before I carry on. And I'm going to get myself a better container, obviously. Alright, while that dries up, I use this Jack Daniels glass. I think that'll work. I don't drink whiskey anymore. So, let's plop that in there. That's it. Just full of air now. Okay. Now that we got that, let's clean up some of these secondary parts. That air filter I know needs to be replaced 100%. Okay. Just cleaning up all this, all that gunk that's on there. Clean the diaphragm housing here. It's quite the small little sump this thing has. Like, that's not very big. It's not very deep. I'm actually kind of surprised. But this trimmer, my 4-stroke, when I'm edging on the side, after about a minute or so, it'll starve itself of fuel. This trimmer, I can have it on its side regardless for as long as I want, and it'll just keep working. There we go. Okay, just put Put the diaphragm up there. All right, now the next question is, let's have a look inside the engine. I want to pull the spark plug. I want to look actually down in here and see what's going on. So let's bring you in for that. All right, I'm actually using the camera as my eyes right now. So bear with me real quick. All right, let's have a look. There we go. Okay, it looks like we got a gasket here. Let's see if I can get this out of the way. Carefully remove that. It's a little dirty, not too crazy. Okay. It's kind of dark. I don't know if you guys can see in there. I can barely see in there. That's why I'm using the camera right now. Alright. So I can't really see too much. Let's see if I can pull that that spark plug and see if we can get this thing sorted out. Looks like a 17 millimeter. Nope. Let's try 19 then. That was kind of close. A little give. Let's try an 18. No, that's metric. Oh, it's close to 19 in the metric scale. Deep socket. Oh, I don't even have one. Nope. Not in deep socket. Or do I? 11/16 maybe? No, I don't think so. Size up. 3/4. 3/4 maybe? There it is. 3/4. There we go. Yeah, it's quite a bit of carbon on there. And is that... Yeah, that's completely soaked in fuel. And the gap is way too big. That is a very, very large gap. Let's see if we can get a look inside. It won't let me focus in that close. Maybe. So the inside looks good. It doesn't look scored, but there is definitely... Sorry, I'm out of focus. There's definitely a lot of fuel in there. No, doesn't look horrible at all. But these are good spark plugs, so you might be able to reuse this. Definitely going to want to step that gap down. It's not a question of me running it too lean. I don't think that is the problem. Or sorry, not lean, rich. I know what you're going to say. It's not how you're supposed to do it, and you are 100% correct. The other way would just be to bang it, but I don't want to do that. That's not going to work. Watch, I'm going to shatter the ceramic while I do this. Watch. Yeah, that's just a
See that gap? That's just a bit too close. Let's back it up just a bit. Much better. Much, much better. All right, let's put this back up in the machine. Nice and snug. Okay, now all we gotta do now is let that carburetor sit, clean all the gunk out, which I'm not seeing much of now. There is some. Oh no, you can't see it on the camera. But there is junk in there floating around. Yeah, so let's let that sit overnight. I'm going to keep washing it. Hopefully it'll run on the first couple pulls and that'll be good. And we are back 24 hours later. Actually, it's not a full 24 hours. It's more like 20 hours, but should be good. Got our carburetor that's been soaking in there all night. Got a bit of floaties in there. Okay. I'm gonna let that air dry. And then I'll bring it back in for the reassembly and then testing. And now that I realize that I left this for 24 hours, I should have done it before, how it wasn't starting, and then an after, but we're already down the rabbit hole now, so might as well continue with what we're doing. I'm not just gonna put it back together just to see it fail. I've already done this work, so I'm gonna see if we can get it done. Okay, I'm back now. I actually had to take my SD card out of my camera because I had to go back in my footage. Let's see if I can get this in view. Right here, there's a little bearing that fell out and I couldn't figure out where the heck it went, so I actually had to go back into my footage and look where that little piece went. It's just sitting right up on there. And it took me a little while to get it on. I didn't get it on camera, but yeah, if you have a little bearing that kind of pops out, yep, that's where it goes. Alright, so I'm not going to waste any time explaining what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put everything back together in hopefully reverse order. Okay, so we got everything back together. I did everything with the drill just to make things easier, and then I just hand tightened it the rest of the way. So we got everything back together except for the air filter. So I'm gonna actually leave the filter out because it's not doing anything right now. I'm gonna put the air box back on. Uh-oh, that's not good. Choke's not moving. What did I do? Alright, let's just leave the air box off, I guess. Because that choke won't work without it. Okay, so we'll leave that right off. Okay, so we got the carb cleaned, got all that done. Check the spark plug. I know everything works. Well, it can work. I know everything can work. Okay, so I guess see if she'll prime. Yeah, she's priming. I just heard fuel going to the carburetor. All right, let's take this outside. Think she's gonna start. Choke all the way on. Turn the set screw in, half a turn. Choke all the way on. I'm gonna go choke halfway. Oh, she wants to go. Run a little rough. So I'm going to take it in another third of a turn, see what that does for us. Half choke. Full choke. It wants to. Choke's off. Playing with the settings now. I'm close. Come on. Could be just because it's cold and this feels about 6 months old. Come on, baby, let's go. Choke off. Full choke. Okay, I think it's still the same issue. It wants to run with a bit of choke. Let's go halfway. No, I think the diaphragm needs to be replaced.
No choke. So basically that's exactly what it was doing this summer. It did start a lot easier than it did before. Let me give it one more shot. I'm gonna back this off. All right, last one. Full choke. Open. Yeah, that diaphragm needs to be replaced. Alright, so that's going to be our next video, how to rebuild this carburetor. Thanks for watching.